Hi. I'm a few minutes late, but I'm here. It is a lovely Monday. It's so humid here. I'm going to keep today's live video fairly short, maybe about 15 minutes. Um, if you have questions during or after this video, please, you are welcome to ask them in the comments or send me a private message and ask away. I welcome your questions. I love them. And I'll do my best to respond as quickly as I can. And today's topic I'm going to talk about is self-care. And it's a well-known term that a lot of us are familiar with. And it can be really helpful and beneficial. It can also be the absolute most annoying term, the annoying thing, period, to hear is, oh, you should do self-care. Oh, well, have you tried self-care? So I want to talk about what self-care is and isn't today, and what it is and what it's not is really important in differentiating um, what kind of self-care you really need. We're going to go into what types of self-care exist in another video later this week, so that's something to look forward to if you're curious um, about that. And we will eventually kind of arrive at what types of self-care there are and then how that applies to you and what you need. Because really what self-care is, it's tending to your own needs. And that's really all it is. That's all the word means. Self-care means caring for the self, or another way of phrasing it, tending to your needs. So this is overall needs. It could be mental, emotional needs, physical needs. It could even be uh, certain needs that are not in your conscious awareness. Sometimes our needs are to do less things, not more things too. So that's where it's really important to understand that applying self-care liberally and often, if you are in a state of stress, overwhelm of any kind, it can be really difficult. And that leads us to why it's so frustrating to hear that, because when we are in a state of overwhelm, and overwhelm does not exist as just a mental state. Overwhelm exists as a physiological state as well. So it can be an internalized state of emotional overwhelm that has a physiology. It makes your body respond and function in a certain way. It makes it difficult to process information when you are in a physiology or a mental state or emotional state of overwhelm. So however you're experiencing your overwhelm, most likely you're experiencing it on all levels, even if you're not 100% aware of that. So if you're having emotional or mental overwhelm, it affects your body because everything functions dynamically in relationship, all bodies, mental, emotional, physical, and energetic or soul body, all functioning dynamically together. So if one is affected, all bodies are affected. Therefore, if you are needing if you need to feel better, if you need to improve your mood or break free of a pattern of negative thought or of stress or anxiety, of depression, or even of physical symptoms like chronic pain or anything like that, and somebody's like, oh, well, have you tried self-care? Are you doing self-care? And that really frustrates you, or it just makes you feel like, okay, I'm done, I'm out. It's because you already have enough things that you're processing in your state of overwhelm, that processing more things to do is literally just too much. It's like a shutdown mode. You're like, nope. And I have been in this state where I needed, sorry, my hair is sticking to my face so badly. When you need the most help with your state of well-being or your state of being in general, whether it's mental, emotional, physical, or relational issues, whatever you're dealing with, the truth is we get the most benefit from what we are able to do for ourselves, because we are really that powerful of influence over our own state. And in those times when you need that the most are the times that you often are the least capable of showing up for yourself. And that's absolutely normal. It's even uh, it's even justified, because self-care sometimes means making there be fewer things for you to do. So maybe it's resting or not doing this one thing, or what can I cut from my list of things to do today? Who can I delegate these tasks to? That can be a form of self-care if you're already in the too much zone, like everything is too much. So it's important to know what your needs are, and when you're overwhelmed, stressed out, in fight or flight mode, in a mental or emotional state of overwhelm, or a physical state, which all go hand in hand, it's difficult to know exactly what you need. So sometimes the best thing you can do is ask, do I need more or do I need less? What do I need? Because going in, getting a massage, or, drawing a bath may be too much extra things to do. So that wouldn't be the right self-care for you if it's too much. Like for me, if I'm going to go take a nice, hot, relaxing bath, that sounds great in theory, but that means I need to probably wipe it down. We have pets, I have a kid, things get dusty, I don't use it every day, so I probably have to wipe it down because it's probably filled with cat hair, at least some, um, and it requires maybe moving a couple of towels that have been tossed on the side of the bathtub, or laundry that's drying there, and that to me is just too much. Like, I don't want to go through all those motions. I don't want to wipe down the tub in order to take a nice bath for self-care sometimes. And then sometimes that's exactly what I need to do, and I'm okay with it. And I tend to all the things, and I prepare the bathtub, and I do the things. So, and that's just one example, obviously, but it's a matter of, is this helpful? Because do I need to do more things or less things? Is this the right thing for me? So it's a good question to ask. Um, and you know what? Sometimes self-care is asking for help. It's asking someone to take care of a task or a responsibility, to do the dishes, stop at the store and get something, instead of you going to do it, or to help with something, or to let you rest if you need it. Because it's not always easy to take a break and rest. And rest is sometimes the best self-care we can give ourselves, but it's really not always easy to come by the time to take in our busy schedules to do so. And that's where asking for help can be a really, like, probably the most basic, simplest form of self-care, and maybe the most overlooked, just based on my interactions with people and my own past experience with having difficulty asking for help. So just something to think about. So I'm going to recap. Self-care is tending to your needs. It is not doing a whole bunch of things that are supposed to make you feel better that don't, because it may not be what you need if it doesn't feel good, if it's not helpful. Figuring out what you need can really help you identify what type of self-care can benefit you. And tending to your own needs, in other words, doing some form of self-care daily, can actually benefit you in with a really, really powerful result if you're doing the right type of self-care. And if you're not doing the right kind of self-care, it's probably frustrating, annoying, it feels like it doesn't work, or it just kind of sets you into a stress or overwhelm pattern that you were already in, but it's just amplifying it a bit. If hearing self-care is what you need from friends or family or randomly, or even this conversation that I'm having with you on Facebook Live, it literally just sets off frustration, annoys you, feels overwhelming, I can guarantee that your body is in a physiological state of overwhelm. And the good news is there are super simple techniques that can help you reduce and switch out of the physiology of overwhelm so that you can do self-care that actually helps your body regulate stress better. Self-care that helps your body activate its own healing and natural healing mechanisms and helps you focus. There's self-care that can help uh, improve communication between brain and body, or just between the various parts of your body that function dynamically. And we're going to go into all these things and more in the next video. But for now, I hope that kind of clarifies a little bit about what self-care is and what it's not. So it should never make things worse or make you feel more overwhelmed or stressed out or just worse off than you are. And sometimes it's a lot more simple than we think of. Like I said, the next video we're going to talk about the different types of self-care, and there are like mental self-care, physical self-care, emotional self-care, indulgent self-care, all different types, and we're going to go into that later this week, so stay tuned. I will do my best to announce when that is going to go live, and you can join me live for that next self-care video, or watch the replay. So if you do have questions, even on the replay, by all means, let me know in the comments, like I said, or just send me a quick message, and I will see you all later this week. Have a great Monday. Bye.